Hello, in this video I will show you how to solve a Rubik's Ivy Cube. So the first thing you need to know about this cube is that it is actually a really easy cube to solve. And although it looks really intimidating, I'll show you why it looks intimidating and like how easy it actually is. So the reason it looks so intimidating is because there are rarely ever cubes with just 3 pieces on each side. And the way it moves is kind of interesting. And like other cubes, we can always relate them to other cubes, like them. Like a 3x3 is very similar to a mirror cube. They're basically the same thing, but they just move differently. So we can relate them to each other like that, like this. The 3x3 helps us solve the mirror cube. And the 2x2 helps us solve the 4x4. They all kind of help each other. But the Ivy cube, it's kind of its own cube, and you have to, but that also makes it easier because there's like no more complicated versions of it. So I'll show you how to solve this, and just start by mixing your cube up. So once you've mixed your cube up, we want to take a look at how the cube moves. So on an Ivy cube, there's actually only 2 movements. It only moves like this, only like diagonally in this odd pattern, and I guess you could count it as 2. Because of this side, but technically only 1 movement for this cube. Okay, now we're going to take a look into actually solving this, because that's why you're here. So we need to choose a side, because for most, the Rubik's Cube, usually it doesn't matter what side you solve on, but for this it kind of does. Because if you're into speed cubing, this will really matter. Like if you want to solve this faster, you have to solve a side that has all of its colors in the bottom, or one. Actually, the best scenario is 1 in the bottom and 1 in the top. So I see. Let me find one that's like that. And there's really no layers in this cube, but that's just how I'm explaining. So see how red. I have a red leaf. That's what the centerpiece is called in this, and I have 1 here and 1 here. They're called corner pieces, leaves. And why I want this is just because it'll be easier to solve rather than messing around with it, mixing it all up. Just having 1 in the top half, I guess you could say, in the bottom half will make it a lot easier. Alright, so what I want to do is I want to find the one that's in the bottom, and I just want to slide it right into it. And then just find the other one, because now it's been shifted, and slide it right in. And when you see what I did there, if you have been cubing a while, you can probably get to the conclusion of how I did that. But if you're a beginner, as I said, this is a pretty easy cube, so a good one to start with. What I did is it basically just flipped. And so when you're looking to solve a side, make sure that you always want it to be facing up, and make sure there's 1 in the top half and the bottom half. Alright, let's move on to the other half. Now that you've done the red side, we're going to flip it over so that the other side's facing up. And if you're into cubing and you've done it a while, you'll know that orange is always opposite red, and it stays the same for the Ivy cube. So what we're going to do for that is we want both the corners to be up. So we don't necessarily want the center leaf to be in this, because that will actually make it harder to solve. So I'm just going to, and the great thing about this Ivy cube is when you move this, it doesn't even affect the red. So you don't have to worry about doing your movements to affect the other colors. Alright, so I basically brought up all of the corners. So now I have the orange corners. Okay, you don't want the leaf in the middle because that will mess everything up. So I have the corners, the orange corners, and again, it doesn't matter about the sides. That doesn't change anything. Okay, so what you're going to look at now is you're going to see the leaves. So you might have the orange leaf in this case, here or here. So if it's on this side, you're going to start with this hand. If it's on this side, you're going to start with this hand. And you simply do this. You go up on this side, up on the other side, down on the other side, down this side. And you've solved the orange side. And now we are going to go into the last layer, which is technically this middle layer, but we call it the last layer. Now we are going to take a look at the middle leaves. So we have to take a look at this, and our goal is to get all of these into the right positions. And to do that, we have to do this algorithm. But first we need to get it facing the right way. So you kind of want it like this. You want it kind of like the leaves positioned this way. You do not want the leaves positioned like this, okay? Because that is not the right way to solve it, and it won't move the right way you need it to. You need them like this. Once you have it like this, you're going to see if there's a solve side. If there is a solve side, you're just going to put that solve side to the side. You don't want the solve side facing you, so you want like 2 unsolved pieces as your front. And then you're going to do this algorithm. So if the unsolved, or the solve side, I should say, is on this side, you're going to start with this hand. If the unsolved side, or the solved side's on this side, you start with this hand. But first, you need to move it. So you always want to move the piece away from where the solved side is, so it doesn't get messed up. But since I have no solved pieces, it doesn't matter. So I'm simply just going to move it around. And it doesn't matter where I start because I don't have any solved sides yet. And you saw that algorithm I did. I went up, up, down, down. And now I simply have to move that piece back. Okay? And now I will, so I get to where I started. Alright, so now you see I have a green solved side. So I simply keep these on the front. But now, remember, I want to move this away. I don't want to move it into where I'm moving the pieces. I want to move it away. And now I'm going to start with this side. I'm going to go up, up, down, down, and slide, and it's not solved, so I slide again. Okay, and I'm going to do that again one more time. So remember this, and I move it away, and I'm going to go up, up, down, down, and one more time. So I know the way I explained it was kind of confusing, so if you're a beginner, you might not understand all of those things, like all the words it was saying, like the algorithms, but just kind of watch it. So the idea of what it is to solve one side, flip it over, solve that side just by getting the corners up there, and then to solve the middle by simply going up, up, down, down. That's how I think of it. Some people like to think of it as the movement. Some people think of the actual notations. Those aren't the actual correct notations. Up, up, down, down. But that's how I think of it. I go like up this side, down this side, down this side. That helps me remember it. Whatever way helps you remember it. And I hope this video has helped you solve the Ivy Cube. And see you next time. Bye.